Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you about waves here for a minute. This is going to be a two-part note session. The first one is just going to be a real short one here, and then we'll move on and do the next one that's a little bit longer. First of all, it's in chapter 25, and we're talking about waves. If you think about a wave, it's not like ocean waves like in my picture, but what we talk about when we talk about waves is we're talking about the movement of energy of some kind. Now, there's many different forms of waves when we think about all across the EM spectrum. But today we're just going to talk about specific type of wave, a vibration wave. And a vibration wave is typically the vibration of a pendulum. That's the back and forth motion of a pendulum. You've probably seen a pendulum on the bottom of a clock, maybe in your grandparents' house or in your parents' house, that swings back and forth. To measure that back and forth motion, we use period T. Period T, of course, is the amount of time it takes for it to move from up to back. So that's what we're measuring, is that one complete revolution of a period. The other one is frequency. Frequency is F, so how fast is it moving? Pendulums are great to measure because they help us start measuring waves. So how fast does it go back and forth? Period T, the amount of that period that it takes to go. How far is it going? Okay, if we think about the period of a pendulum, the mass of the pendulum, let me start over. The period is not dependent on the mass. So the end on the end, it really doesn't matter what's on the end. It's not dependent on that. What it is dependent on is the amplitude. How high is it able to go? How high is it swinging? Okay, that's the amplitude that we're talking about. Period is only dependent on the length of the pendulum and the acceleration of gravity, so 9.8 meters per second, of course. There. This equation gives you the ability to measure period T, okay, which, if you remember, is how far a pendulum would swing. So you have the length divided by the gravity, use the square root, 2 pi, it gives us T. All right, some review questions. What's the period of a pendulum? You write that question down and then write the answer in your notes right below in your journal. Next question, what is the frequency of a pendulum? Write that definition down. And put the symbols in there for both of those as well. All right, lab time. So I've got a lab for you to do. Of course, it's a simple oscillation lab. It has to do with pendulums and being able to measure them. That's what you're going to do next. So stop right here, and then we'll move on to the next one. See me for all the supplies that you need for this lab.